Very much keep with us. I'm sure we shall do great things together. And let me appreciate the messages I've received from the Dean of the Ambassadors, from Minafet, and others, that next year should be well prepared. We are going to start preparation by September and see how we are getting organized. We involve all the communities, Australian communities in this country. We have quite many, so that we get a feel of the Africa, the identity of the Africa. Most of us are still with nationalistic tendencies and identities. To get the Africa we want, those identities will have to be substituted to the African identity. And it requires not only intellectual discourse, but even physical and social interaction, wherever we can be able to make it. And that's where we want to go. Pan-African movement has had, it's not only an idea organization. Those who may, some of you may know, back in 1945, at the 5th Congress of the Pan-African movement, that's when the decision was made that we must aspire for complete independence of the African continent. Those who attended the conference came and spearheaded the struggle for independence, and thereafter had a struggle to liberate even those other countries that the colonialists felt they had taken to be their own. Your Excellency, the ambassador from South Africa, I think 1994 is when you say Africa is liberated, when you got to be free. Since then, again, when South Africa was getting free, we held another Congress, the 7th Congress of Pan-African Movement. And we thought that the African Liberation Day, the Africa Freedom Day, need to shift its stance and orientation towards the development of Africa and the creation of the unity of Africa. So we are now in the process, and I'm happy to say that we, ambassadors, we are ready to cooperate with all the chapters in your countries, so that eventually, I haven't seen the ambassador from Sudan, but I remember 2 years ago he had a very strong idea that Pan-African movement should be able to organize progressively from national chapters to regional chapters and eventually continental, so that this day becomes the day, just like Christmas is for other people, so that Africans will say this is our day. So enjoy your meal and have good discussions. Let's meet again next year.
Representatives, ladies and gentlemen, good evening, very well. First of all, on behalf of the members of the African Diplomatic Group, I'd like to express our heartfelt condolences and solidarity following the natural disaster that hit Rwanda on May 2nd and 3rd, and which caused significant human and material damage. In this regard, I'd like to pay great tribute to His Excellency Paul Kagame, President of the Republic of Rwanda, for his clairvoyance and anticipation in the management of this natural disaster. The response of His Excellency President Paul Kagame and the government has been remarkable so far. The government has responded with a combination of emergency psychosocial, and long-term assistance to support the homeless and enable them to cope with the consequences of the disaster. Secondly, on behalf of the African Diplomatic Group, I'd like to welcome everyone here who has joined us in celebrating this important annual African event under the theme Acceleration of the African Continental Free Trade Area. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the African countries which celebrate the African Liberation Day on May 25th of each year seize this opportunity to raise and recall some priorities regarding the development of Africa and highlight the challenges left for the continent to achieve the desired quality of life of Africans. With the good ranking where Rwanda scores well in terms of ease of doing business in Africa and in the world, and its open visa policy, and the fact that Rwanda was also ranked as the first among the countries most committed to the implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area. As I conclude, I would like to convey our congratulations and our sincere thanks to the Pan-African movement for all the actions that are permanently deployed in the interest of all the Africans and our continents. Honorable Chairman, I confirm that I met recently Commissioner, yes, my friend, and other colleagues, and we discussed the way we will implement our next event the next year. And we agreed that we'll begin the preparation by the next September. Then next event will be well prepared and very, very important. Thank you for your attention.
Your Excellency, Dean of the Africa Diplomatic Corps, Excellencies, Ambassadors and High Commissioners, members of the Diplomatic Corps, members of Parliament, members of the private sector, comrades here present, good evening. As the MC said, I'm not going to give a speech, I'm going to give just a word of toast. We were with most of the people in here in the morning during the conference on the celebration of Africa Day. And I think just a few reflections. We realized that it's still very important to celebrate Africa Day 60 years after it all started. And one of the reasons is that today reminds us that we are Africans. But it also reminds us that we have responsibilities as this new generation of Africans. Our forefathers had dreams, they fought their fight, and they have left a lot on us to also realize today. And part of what we have to realize is the dream of becoming a united and integrated, a peaceful and prosperous Africa. So there's a lot to do, and it's the responsibility of all of us. We have to make sure that we work together, and it's so good to see all this family of Africans in this room to celebrate Africa Day. And again, chairperson of Africa Pan-African Movement, Rwanda chapter, congratulations for all the work that you do, you and all the colleagues in the Africa Pan-African Movement. On behalf of the ministry, on behalf of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, I want to commit. Minister Luta wanted to be here. He couldn't because he has a delegation he's receiving. But I want to commit on behalf of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs that starting next year, we'll be working together to make sure that we really celebrate Africa. So with those few words, again, happy Africa Day.
So the candles, we have 6 candles and each
Shut